Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Let Me Tell You Sundays. We are live 95.6 FM. I'm your host, Barbara Ali, with my co-host.
Julian, how are you doing, Barbara? Julian Morrow, full name. What's going on? How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, Julian. How are you?
I'm very good.
How's your week been?
I've been very busy, and
Yes, likewise.
it's all top secret. But yeah,
Likewise.
I've had a busy week,
But we are here.
and it's Sunday again, and we're talking the power of words, or word power. And I'm very glad to have a very good friend of one of my friends. Yeah, no, I'm joking. I don't have any friends. But Fayez Bakhsh is here. He is a spoken word artist, amongst other things. And welcome to Let Me Tell You Sundays.
Thank you. I'm a fan of the show. I've listened to it many times.
Well, now you're on the show.
Yeah,
How does that feel?
It feels immense.
Is the studio as high tech as you
I've seen
imagine?
it 'cause I saw the video
Okay.
on YouTube, so
Oh, well, there you go.
it's nice.
Welcome. And we will be going.
I'm still, just overwhelmed. But you just said that he's a fan of the show.
Yeah, man. You got
So is you.
Yeah, yes, it is me. All those callers.
What is the
to
other?
me.
What is the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. No, that's
So, the power of words.
yeah. And
What does that mean?
once again, this is a guest who's kindly come on, who I've dragged into the studio and said, "Look, can we do this?" Faiz, you are a spoken word artist. So, what power do words have for you?
For me, I think if we can look historically, we can think about any big movement, any mass societal transition. We can think about the civil rights movement. I think is usually associated with a speech. We can think about "I Have a Dream," or we think about "By Any Means Necessary," Malcolm X, or we even think about the Sermon on the Mount, Christ. There's always a language, not a dialogue, but also a monologue. Someone delivering words to move, to mobilize, to impassion people, to be part of the movement, for good and for bad. Of course, Hitler,
Yeah.
Any dictator. They
Well-
use words to rile people up, to make them feel convicted, to instill passion in them. So really, the power of words is really hard to measure because it's huge.
Well, I was very lucky in school because I was blessed with I guess what you say, a nice vocabulary. So I know, I never had any problem in that sense. But a question to you both: when do you think we began talking as people? I mean, last week Spencer was talking about when we came out of Africa and the Garden of Eden, and different people have different views on evolution, but presumably at some point we began to speak, and language would have been very primitive, and then it would have evolved.
Or maybe we already spoke fluently.
Well, did we? I mean, if you take religion and the Quran and Bible literally, the Tower of Babel is a story about how we began babbling. That's where the term comes from, right? The story goes that we all spoke one language, and then because some people built a massive tower up to God for their arrogance, it was broken down, and people off they went and began speaking different languages. Barbara, you go with that?
Well, I don't have the in-depth insight in it, but it could be so. I mean, I don't know the facts of what the Quran says. When did man actually start speaking? Did man exist? Did Adam alayhi salam come with just the belief, or did he actually come with belief and communication?
That's a very interesting question.
So this is something that I don't know. Maybe a listener out there probably does know the answer to that.
If you are listening and you can speak, 01189660382, give us a call on anything or any other issue related to words. Or if you're shy, Barbara can tell you what to do.
You can text in. The text number is 07909567527, and we will be repeating those numbers out throughout the show. Already I can feel like it's going to be a good show.
It's
because
it's an
quite-
interesting topic. I know it's
yeah.
very broad. I've put it wide open. Later on, I'm hoping that Fayez will perform some of his stuff for us. I'm proud to say I've performed on the same night as Fayez in the same venue.
Yeah.
We'll explain about that later. But going back to when did we begin talking? I mean, we might as well start at the beginning.
Yeah.
And in the beginning was the word. I heard that scientists said that cavemen, when they began to speak, like in a lot of languages, the word for you will be made by pushing the lips away from your mouth, and the word for me will be pulling the lips towards you. So, kind of, I mean, it makes sense in English. I don't know if that's true in all the other.
Yeah, it's a bit of sign language.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand
but I
where you
think
come
there is an innate desire within us to communicate, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And even in South America, there was a school for the deaf, and no one, the kids were just chucked in there. I think deaf orphans. They weren't young offenders; they were just deaf, and they were just left alone. No one taught them any sign language or anything, but the kids amongst themselves created their own language, which they passed on to the next generation that came in, and this language just evolved. So I think it's definitely in our nature to communicate in whatever language that would be.
I think another thing I want to touch on is, like, obviously the world is vast. You have different civilizations come and go on. We have different communities. Everyone has their own way of communicating.
Yeah.
But, going back to a religious aspect of it, is that yes, the communication is different, but, the belief of, believing in the oneness of God, is the same. And, this is what Islam preaches, this is what it teaches, that, is for the whole of humanity, regardless of your color, your speech or whatever, it's about believing in the oneness of God. So, that's another form of communication in a way as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Fayez, in terms of when you, what do you like to write about? I mean, some people write rap songs about terrible things. Some people have a message in what they write. What do you like to write
I think
about?
it's important, like, you write a rap or you write a poem or whatever. Just keep it sincere, keep it authentic, something that you genuinely know about. Unless it's in the guise of fiction, but or you're doing some kind of satire.
What if you want to just get as many likes as you can?
That's the thing.
On Facebook or YouTube?
It ceases to be art, in my opinion.
Are you listening, Arthur? Okay.
Oh, I didn't realise it was this.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Just looking for advice.
Yeah.
So in terms of the work that you actually do,
Yeah.
What are you trying to promote through your work?
It's either a message that I think is not spoken about enough, and I'm not trying to get on a pedestal, but everyone's got a voice, something that they feel strongly about, and it's a message I want to communicate and add to the mix. Or it's an attempt to articulate a feeling that I have, because we're all human beings, and the human experience is crazy, and we feel strange inside of us sometimes, and when we don't express it in any way, some people have sport or martial arts or painting or acting or singing. If we don't express it in any way, it can become a neurosis. So sometimes it's actually just for my own good. I need to write it and articulate it and put it in phrases. And when you have a feeling that you've imparted your feeling to someone else, there's a catharsis in that. It feels good.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Are we going live?
Oh, we're going.
Fayez, we have another spoken word artist tonight.
Yeah.
No, not yet. Oh, we got a caller.
Okay.
Sorry. Normally I see the flashing light. Hello, caller. You're through to Let Me Tell You Sundays. Who's this?
Hi, it's Rushank.
Oh, welcome to the show. You're through to Fayez.
And
Hi, yes.
And myself and Barbara and the whole studio. We're talking power of words. Is it Vrushank, yeah?
Yes, it is. Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm very good. What's your most powerful word in the dictionary?
My most powerful word in the dictionary. I would say it'd have to be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's power.
Is that actually in the dictionary?
I'm pretty sure it was in the dictionary at one point.
Well, they do.
It might have been taken out then.
They do add to them regularly. Now, are you a fan of poetry? Or would you write poetry and read poetry?
I'm not as much of a fan of poetry. However, Shakespeare, I'm a big fan of Shakespeare.
To be or not to be? Something.
As some people would say, yeah.
What is it about Shakespeare that does it for you?
I reckon it's the fact that in the day in his day and age, Shakespeare was able to get such strong emotion from different people about different topics, and he still managed to get that same emotion from people to this day.
Yeah, but that's because they make you do it in school.
They don't make, well, they make us do it in school, but some people are actually inspired by it. They go on to actually continue the writing and go into acting because of it. I've got a few friends who have decided to go into acting purely because of Shakespeare.
Fayez, did Shakespeare do anything for you?
Not as a kid studying it, but later on when I revisited it as an adult, yeah.
Why do you feel that Shakespeare is more glamorized than the other, ancient writers or philosophers? Why him particularly?
His impact on the English language we use today is huge. Right. A lot of the phrases, the idioms and the words derive from Shakespeare.
So it's more to do with the language.
He invented the word chav. That comes from
is that Shakespeare?
Shakespeare. I don't know.
But
Rushank, do you know any of the words Shakespeare invented?
I don't know many of them, I'm afraid. No, I'll have to get my friend on this.
We probably use them every day without realising it.
We do. He added, I think it was anything between 10,000 words.
So he just made it up. Apparently he's smoked a lot of weed as well. What's your favourite?
Wait, what? Really?
Apparently, allegedly. I don't know.
He was a man of his time.
Well, apparently it promotes creativity, so you never know.
And he was secretly a Catholic.
He was a secret Catholic.
Yeah, I think so, which was frowned upon in those days. But what's your favourite Shakespeare play?
My favourite Shakespeare play? It has to be Macbeth.
Ah, okay.
Don't say that when you're... Is that the one you're not meant to say?
The
Scottish play. Why Macbeth, Rushank?
Why Macbeth? Because I had to act in it as part of it out of school, so I kind of have most of my memories with that, I suppose.
What part did you play?
It was a rubbish part, but it was fun nonetheless.
Ah, well...
I was a tree.
You were a tree?
I was a tree, so I was able to just stand in the background and see what was going on.
Ah, wow. Rushank, that's very poetic.
That is. I like the fact that I was a tree. It meant that I didn't ruin the play.
You didn't ruin
With my rubbish acting. So, I'm happy about it.
Rushank, thanks very much for getting in touch on LMTU Sundays. And do call again.
I will do.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Rushank, there. Inspired by Shakespeare by becoming a tree.
All that talk about Shakespeare is reminding me about my GCSEs, which I've
got to revise for them.
Let another play.
You should have.
Are words just words? What? I mean, you mentioned right at the beginning of the show that words were used by great military leaders or great generals or whatnot, great people,
spiritual giants.
Yes, but there's still that old adage that words are just words. It's the action.
Well, sticks and stones will break my bones, but no one's ever completed that sentence without getting smacked in the face. But words do hurt, don't they?
They do.
We say, oh yeah, that doesn't matter. But yeah, maybe words hurt most of all, and that's why phrases like that exist.
Because that phrase is just words, isn't it?
Exactly.
So,
what about in Islamic context as well? Muslims are told continuously to guard their tongue. Mm-hmm. Don't be so loose with your tongue. Yeah. And there's even stories of pious Muslims that would only probably speak on a Friday. They would go out the whole week. They would say the most minimalistic things, and on Friday they'd probably have a conversation because they're going to the Jummah prayer. Yeah. And they need to converse with the people. But guarding the tongue. I mean, is it good to be, so openly talkative like Julian?
It's not good to shout, Bob. Keep your mouth away from the mic.
But also,
yelling at me.
In regards to Islam, it's also interesting because words are so commonplace, we overlook their impact. Like, you consider Islam, how was it revealed? It was revealed through words. It's revealed in a book, as all the religions. Yeah. And Angel Gabriel, he spoke to Muhammad. Right. So this is pivotal. This is core to the entire thing. So words, I defy anyone to think of a significant time in history and a significant movement that doesn't include words somehow. It all starts with words.
The mime movement, which came out
No,
of France.
but someone wrote that down. Someone spoke about it and says, you know what would be a good idea?
Very true.
Miming.
Well, Yasser Ali is a mime artist. .co.uk. I've just had a text from Samara, who has... oh my goodness, these are the words that Shakespeare invented.
Okay.
And here's just a few.
Chav.
Kate, comprise, courtship, countless, critic, dauntless, dawn. He invented the word dawn. What do people do in the morning before Shakespeare? Just nighttime, daytime. That's it. Nothing in between. Gust, hint, hobnob. He didn't invent hobnob. I can't believe that. McVitie's are going to get sued.
I think it was the verb rather than the noun.
Yes, possibly. Mimic. Well, I'll go through more of these.
Yeah. Compelling radio as that is.
If you've just tuned in, is Let Me Tell You Sundays, and we're talking words, meaning of words, and the words Shakespeare invented. If anyone's got any words they've invented, they'd like to text in. We'll guess the meaning of it.
Or if anyone wants to make up a word and want us to think of a meaning for it.
That's a good idea.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a text in as well.
Here we go.
The text reads, my opinion on the power of words. Choose your words wisely. A person who cannot control his words shows that he cannot control himself and is unworthy of respect.
Wow.
And that's from Sophia.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, there's something to that, definitely.
I wonder how many times she edited that text before she pressed send. What should I say? Yeah, but I don't know. Some people cannot. I've worked with kids with Tourette's syndrome.
Is it headphones on time?
Is it headphones on? I can't see the flashing light tonight. Who's this? Welcome.
Hello. Assalamu
Walaikum salam.
Welcome to Let Me Tell You Sunday.
Yep.
Who is this?
Thank you. Is Sadia okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Welcome. Where's who is this? Oh,
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm doing one of the poetries on this.
Fantastic. You're through to Fayez, who is a fellow. Are you a spoken word artist or a poet or what?
Spoken word artist.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? I think with spoken word, you get a lot more out from yourself.
Mm-hmm. So it's more about the performance than
the performance, how you bring yourself out, how you kind of bring your character out in the words.
Mm-hmm. Did you know
that's what I believe anyway.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Words are more than just the letters on the page, aren't they?
Or the sounds, arbitrary sounds being emitted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's what's it? Intonation.
Intonation is something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Connotation. There's all kinds of things.
Well, are you gonna perform some spoken word for us?
Yes, I will. Whenever you guys are ready.
Well, I don't know if we're ready.
We're ready. Oh no, we might not be ready ever.
I'm not ready. How should I? In what frame of mind does someone need to be to
prepare yourself?
Yeah.
I think whenever, to be honest, it's like again, it's words. It's words. You bring yourself out.
All right.
Far away.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready.
Okay.
Ready.
Are you sure you're ready?
The more you ask that question, the less sure we are.
I know. It's like
just don't ask that question again.
Building.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna read for us.
Let her talk, man.
Well, this one. Hello.
You're there. Go ahead.
Yep. This one I wrote. You know when the whole hijab situation was happening, when they wanted to ban the hijab.
Well, they did ban it in France.
In France, but within the UK, remember that there was at one point they wanted to ban it.
There's always someone that wants to ban it.
They were having the
ban it, yeah. But you know, it was like that big commotion
Yeah.
and palaver and drama happening. So I wrote this around that time, and it's called "Am I Oppressed?" I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but it's on YouTube at the moment.
Okay.
Share to look afterwards.
Let's hear it now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they say I'm oppressed, but I'm far from it. They say I'm degraded, I'm not even close to it. I look different, and this is why I'm not accepted. Ignorance is a disease, and it's left their minds infected with the common lies that they have fed themselves with, believing everything they hear without seeing how we live. So the angels protect me as they spread their wings, while everyone listens to the devil when he sings. Beauty was established to me when I covered myself, an untouched pearl protected by my shell. I covered myself because it gives me an identity. SubhanAllah, this had made me grow spiritually. So now I ask you, how can I be oppressed if I'm now living freely? How am I degraded if I'm covering my body? I don't have to be naked in order to succeed. You've chosen that, and now it's something you believe, something you strive for because you don't have a solution, and now your mind is filled with corruption and pollution. The media is an influence and everyone's turning to it. Soulless bodies that are being hypnotized by it, demonizing the role of women with their pornographic industry. And now this is the role women seem to be chasing. We have role models that have no morals. They glamorize a lifestyle that is actually troubled. Living in a day and age where modesty isn't beauty, the feeling of fear comes from their own insecurity. Now my security comes from my faith, a form of protection that is highly praised, from the one above that has risen her in status, from the teaching of the prophet that protected her from wrongdoers. I got my right 1400 years ago. You tell me what rights you have to show.
Wow.
Wow, subhanAllah, that was very good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow. And someone's just arrived. As if by magic.
That was very, very good. That was
Thank
very good.
you.
Yeah, mashallah,
Awesome, yeah.
mashallah,
Very
very good. Do you come up with do you have many more of those?
Yeah, I've got a few. I mean, some of them are like more with like, you know, your thoughts, and then other ones are just about general life.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, obviously this is Islamically orientated, what you're saying.
Some are, and then others aren't. Some are just about general life, because I don't think we should just relate to Islam, because there's so many people out there that aren't Muslims, and we need to relate to them as well to a certain extent.
But isn't being a Muslim relating to the people? I mean,
yeah, it is, but not everyone understands Islam if
Yeah.
they don't really have that much knowledge on it.
Okay. I think it's pretty cool. I've never really been exposed to this sort of stuff before.
Cool.
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you be inspired to write yourself, Bar? Are we
Wow.
going to be
I
hearing
used
you
to-
perform
I
next
used to
week?
listen to gangster rap back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. That's as far as it goes. No, I'm not good at this stuff. No, mashallah, it's really good.
Thank you, thank you.
Have you performed these live?
Yeah, I have.
Where can we see you?
I haven't got any videos on YouTube about with performing live, but I've got like a few videos in general, just audios.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
ever? Are you familiar with Rumi's Cave?
Yeah, I am.
Have
I
you-
haven't been there yet though, but
Okay.
soon hopefully.
I've been there.
Big
a
up
few
Rumi's
times.
Cave.
Yeah, yeah. If any of Rumi's Cave people are listening, please get in touch tonight, because this is right up your street.
Do you want to give it a number?
01189660382. You'll get straight through to the studio.
Cool.
And if you're shy,
And if you're shy, you can text in. It's 07909567527. But yeah, we really appreciate this call, and hopefully we can hear from you again,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
are we not going to have another?
We will do another
Would you
one?
like another
Yeah,
one?
come on, more encore,
Okay, encore
encore,
then.
encore.
Okay, this time
Encore,
this
yeah.
time we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was
this
just
one's called
the
I
warm-up.
Believe.
I believe. Okay.
Yep. I believe in one God, the one that causes life and death, the one that makes us reach our very last breath. I believe in heaven and I believe in hell. Hell is the place that I want to repel. I believe in the devil and I believe in the angels, so I'm striving hard to stay faithful. I believe in the books that have been sent from the heavens, so I pray to be close to heaven's presence. I believe in the prophets that were sent to mankind. I want to follow their footsteps that they left behind. I believe in the day of resurrection, and I hope me and my Lord have a strong connection. I passionately believe in my faith. Without my faith, I'd be lost in this place. I strongly believe their days are decreed. What's meant to be will always be. I believe in love and I believe in peace, so I pray the world wars will eventually freeze. I believe the world needs to give more charity. Charity will increase our soul's purity. I believe in freedom and I believe in justice. I become disheartened when I see injustice. I deeply believe in positive energy. Positive energy will keep us spiritually healthy. I believe in pain and I believe in forgiveness. We need to forgive so our hearts will be freed from illness. I firmly believe in honesty, because honesty is the best policy. I will continue to believe in humanity, because not every single soul will be left filthy. I believe in equality when it comes to you and me, because in the end we are all human beings.
Powerful stuff.
Love it.
Stuff.
Really
more,
good.
more. Sadia, who inspired you to get involved in spoken word? How did all this start?
I've been writing since I was about 14. I just used to be like a really angry child.
Okay.
And then it's like one way to get all those emotions out was just by writing, to be honest.
Right.
And it's just recently I decided to kind of let it all come out.
Do you resonate with that, Fayez?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of touched on that. It's good to have a channel, and spoken word is a very powerful one.
Is every poet an angry child?
No, not every.
Wait, every person is an angry child, I think.
Although I do have an idea about, because you've had a lot of fighters on this show.
We have had a
and
lot of fighters on
I
the
think there's a definite relationship between poets and fighters. Yeah, at its highest aspiration, I think the great fighters were like poets, and the greatest poets were similar to fighters. Sylvester Stallone described Rocky as a poet, really. And I think there is definitely a relationship, but that's, yeah. Anyway. So there's a theme.
Are you a fighter?
Let's not go there.
There you go. That means that, yeah. She's like, don't, she's like, don't
steroids?
start. Yeah.
No, I sense that you are in the metaphorical sense, right?
Yeah.
See, why do you shy away from that word?
I think we all are in our own little way.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you a mujahida? You know?
Inshallah, I hope I am.
So you're fighting something, right?
Yeah, I suppose we all fight our own battles, our own demons.
Absolutely.
You know, we all fight our own demons. That's the way I see it.
Okay. So in your poetry, in your spoken word, is the meaning that you're trying to convey, is it in the words or is it hidden a little bit deeper? Are you hoping that people are going to look deeper into it? Is there a correct way to interpret it?
I prefer people looking beneath the lines. Okay. I just don't want them to hear it and think they understand it. I think look deeper into it.
And I think people are ready to do that with poetry, right? And we get taught in English lessons, what do you think they meant? What is this metaphor? What is this simile? But for a lot of people, as soon as they open up a religious book, that goes out the window. It's like, no, literal, true. No, 7 days. God created the world in 7 days. That's it. I'm not going to budge. Where do you think that mindset comes from?
Being ignorant, I suppose.
Okay. Fayez?
Yeah, I don't think they have a highly developed faculty for insight and reflection, because, you know, those people are the most outspoken. Those people are the most likely to try and gather people and mobilize this militant movement. But there are, you know, thousands, millions of Muslims, millions of Christians, millions of Jews, Baha'is, who read their text and deepen on it every day, and they read their holy book every day, and they find something new, even if it's a verse they've read hundreds of times. But you don't hear from them, because they're less likely to have the kind of brazen attitude of, that's it, I'm going to proclaim the truth now because I understand it. Because they always go with humility to the text, and they deepen and they deepen. But the guy who reads it once and said, there you go, I've got it, he's going to get on the megaphone in Speaker's Corner, whatever, and he's going to be the one who unfortunately determines the reputation of a religious group.
Of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
So, well, in that case, I'll put it to you guys, and we're talking the power of words. How powerful are words then, if they're being misinterpreted and abused?
Exactly, but they're very powerful. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to be so damaging.
Do you think one of the reasons for that is the misinterpretation is that because everyone thinks that they know it all? You know, people. I mean, if you look at the great scholars of the past, they will never claim to have knowledge. You know, if you confronted them with something and said, "Oh, you know what, you do this or you do this," they would shy away. They would say, "No, I'm not. You know, I don't want to take responsibility for that. I don't have enough knowledge." So these were scholars who were speaking. But, you know, in this day and age, people want to throw knowledge around or think they're throwing knowledge around, but it's nothing. But
everyone feels qualified suddenly, yeah.
There you go. Everyone feels qualified. So I think this is the problem.
Yeah, and so it's a greater problem than just words. It's a mentality that is being, you know, that we see is prevalent. And I think it's a lot to do with people adapting to or failing to adapt to the rising technology. We've got more access to information than we've ever had. So suddenly people can be self-educated on whatever they want to be. And they can think, well, I've read, you know, about conspiracy theories for 2 weeks now every night. Therefore, I know the truth about 9/11 or whatever it may be. Everyone is a self-appointed scholar of their chosen field. It's not true, because you're not forced to think critically when you're doing it like that.
I mean, the students of knowledge would travel. We're talking about, you know, they would travel miles
and they're challenged constantly.
Yeah, they would travel miles and miles and miles to meet this teacher, to meet another teacher. But, you know, now we're sitting in front of a desk or sitting on our sofas, and then we're thinking that, yes, you know what, I've got the knowledge now, and now I'm going to put this guy down, I'm going to put her down, and put her in her place. But
it's already humility is missing.
The humbleness
is
gone. Yeah. You know, the humbleness is gone.
All right, but information is more readily available now. So
Exactly.
we must be a brainier generation. No,
But
I can just
Julian-
Google it.
yeah,
I can
but
just
Julian-
Google it. That's it.
Julian, every week, you say it yourself, is how you interpretate things.
I say
Interpretate.
interpret. But
Sorry, interpret
Yeah.
or interpret
Yeah.
things is how you interpret things. You know,
tomato.
not tomato or Terminator.
All right, but I just think if we're praising words as being so powerful, but powerful for good, powerful for bad.
But it's not praise; it's just a statement of fact.
Well,
Words,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
same with religion. People
That's
say,
right.
"Well, look how damaging it can be." But then on the flip side, just imagine what a force for good it could be if you turned it around. Or if it's something is so powerfully bad, it can be so powerfully good.
Mhm.
You can't just remove it from the equation.
Mhm.
We can't, words are here to stay. We're always
Yeah.
going to be communicating, so we might as well master how we use them.
All right, let's play a little game.
All right, let's go.
I'd like to play a game.
That's from that film.
That's from that film,
Yeah.
Lion King. All right.
Mufasa.
Hello, Barbarelli.
Yeah.
I'd like to play a game. Your whole life, I don't know, what did you do your whole life that Saul would have to punish you for, Barber?
How would he? How would he want to punish me?
Well, no, okay, this is for Yasser Ali. Your whole life you sat quietly in the studio and never spoke. Now, if you want to survive, you have to play this game. Right, YasserAli.co.uk. This is going to be a big challenge for him. He's going to say a random word. And Barbara Ali will have 5 seconds to say a word associated with that word.
Word association.
God.
Then Sadia, it will be you. You're going third.
Oh, she's still with us.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Sadia,
good.
you there?
I'm still here.
Still here. Still there.
I'm still here.
Loud and clear. You are third. I will be fourth. Then it will be Fayez.
Okay.
And
How do you lose?
A friend is the. Now we're just going to do one lap.
Okay, one round.
It's going to go all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got to just say one word, and it must be related to the previous word. Okay, we're going to see if we have the vocabulary to do one whole lap of the studio and the Skype. Yasser, your random word. Sunshine.
Hot.
Okay, Sadia, your word is hot. Go for it.
Warm.
Boiling.
Frog.
It's good. Right, the word is frog. We've stumped him. Any word to do with frog? Jump with help from
With a little bit
Barbara.
of help.
So we got from sunshine to jump in one
Yeah,
lap. Very
yeah.
very well done,
Yeah.
guys.
But how was frog?
Okay.
I know. Wait,
yeah,
I know.
Exactly.
how.
I'd like Jules
I
to
know
explain
how.
it because if I explain
Well,
it saunds tenuous.
I know
and
how.
crazy.
Sadia,
Yeah.
do you understand the link between boiling and frog?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Okay. YasserAli.co.uk. Do you know?
And it's a genuine. It
Shaking
came
his head.
from the word.
A frog, if put in boiling water, will thrash around and
Will
know
jump
that-
out.
Will jump out straight away. But if you boil the water
So
slowly
from room temperature.
from room temperature, the frog will not realise and will gradually boil. And that's an analogy for
All kinds of things like when we're
kinds.
conditioned
yeah,
to tolerate something that we ordinarily wouldn't.
exactly.
So is this? I've been watching some videos on YouTube, and there's people in Japan. They're eating live frogs.
Right.
Like
Yeah. No. Oh man.
the frogs.
horrific, I know.
It's like in pieces,
I
but
know.
it's still
Yeah,
alive.
it's horrific.
And they're
That's
eating
why-
it. What?
That's why he said that.
That
yeah.
has nothing to do with that. but
That's what made me.
But it's to do with frogs.
it's to do with frogs. So yeah, but it's not to do with that experiment.
All right.
Damn.
One more. I want to go again. One
come
more
on.
lap, and let's make it a bit
These
quicker.
games make me nervous because I
Well,
think
that's
I'm
all
gonna.
right, putting you on the spot. YasserAli.co.uk. You're back in with a different word. Now, let's get it sharp.
All right.
Let's get it
go.
relevant and quick.
3 seconds this time.
3 second
yeah.
rule.
Yeah, I reckon. Right.
ISIS.
Oh God.
It's not your turn yet.
No.
Terror.
Terror. Sadia, you're in. With terror.
Nightmare.
Dream.
Weaver.
It's always-
There's no one there.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's
Poor-
there.
All right, we'll abandon that game. No more word association.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
that was difficult. To get Weaver is difficult.
Yeah. He's
But what's a
he's
Weaver?
wordsmith.
Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
Ah. What's that? How could you come back with that one then?
Because he's a dream.
Nightmare,
Yeah, only
dream,
Weaver. But what would you say?
Huh?
What would he have said? What would he
That's
sh-
his
should have said?
problem.
It's up to him. But he could have said embroidery or something. He could have said something to do with sewing,
Oh,
knitting.
yeah.
Oh, he's walking out now.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I should have said basket.
Basket would be a good one.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
walked out. It's the first walkout we've had on here.
Okay, can we allow
All right.
games now?
No more games.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Go on, Sadia, have you got another piece for us? Something
Would you like another one?
Yeah. One more piece.
Something joyful.
Something joyful? I don't really have anything
inspiring.
joyful.
Oh, is it all depressing stuff?
That wasn't the question.
No. Whatever inspires you. We're ready. We're ready to hear it. What have you got for us?
I can give you this one. In my mind, I'd add a million times. Call it what you want, I call it suicide. My sins are building while I keep the angel busy. My vision is blurred, but my third eye sees clearly. The shaitan, he wants a piece of me. He sits on his throne as he sends out his army. The smokeless type that can cause major harm, causing a destruction so no one's left calm. My heart beats while I wait for my very last breath. Have I succeeded or have I failed the entire test? I'm in a war fighting against the shaitan, the temptation he sells as I accept with open hands. He shows me rainbows that never lead to gold, so he leaves me in a dark place where my soul is left cold. He feeds himself with the anger that I hold. I've taken the opposite path to the one that has been showed. My soul is in a pit where the light isn't seen. The darkness that surrounds is a daily routine. A dream within a nightmare where I never wake up, poisoned by my inner demon stuck in a death trap. I'm trying to perfect and strengthen my iman, but I stay stuck in my old ways before giving it a chance. It's this world versus the hereafter, a destination that we reach that lasts forever. I feel like I've forever been locked out of heaven where the beautiful pearly gates never seem to open. The addiction of this earth has got me right where it wants me. Right now, rehab can't even save me. Physically and emotionally, I've been suicidal. I had to reform myself from the depressive trial. I stare at my reflection without recognizing it. I hope the Lord frees me from the temporary fit.
So these
Sadia,
what do you call them?
Yes.
Poems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely poems.
Okay, poems. I mean, do you just come out with them freestyle, or do you actually have to
Sorry, what was that?
your poems? Do you come out with them and freestyle them, or do you have to like sit down and write them out and edit them a little bit?
Because Barbara Ali would just freestyle something like that off the cuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take to come up with a piece like that?
What, something like about 20 minutes?
20 minutes.
That's good.
Wow, it's not long. It's not long.
That's really good.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes.
Wow. Well, I think we should have a response.
A response. I don't want to set up this adversarial kind of dynamic. We're not battling.
No, just a
Yeah.
contrast.
A contrast.
Sadia, would you like to hear some of Fayez's work?
Right. So her silence speaks volumes.
Sadia, are you with us? Fayez, Yasser, we lost her. Is she there? We'll get her back.
Okay.
Fayez,
Okay.
where is the mood taking?
I
Because
don't
you
know.
said to me before when you go to perform, you wouldn't decide what to.
Well, yeah, that
perform
time we
until
went
you get
to.
there.
Yeah. That time we went to. I mean, I have before. I have prepared something for the thing, for the event. But when you go to an open mic, for example, the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
two open mics I've been to, I just like, and it's quite nice to stand in front of the microphone and think, So
I genuinely not know.
yeah. Because then there's it's not like I've memorized that many, but I've got a few that I've in my head. So
I have to say, on the night that we performed together.
yeah. By the way, we didn't perform a spoken word piece together.
No, we didn't.
He did his act, and I did mine.
I did my thing. Fayez did his.
Yeah.
Two very different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But like some I mean it's an open mic, so I wouldn't criticize anyone, but some people try to memorize their stuff and they would struggle, but yours just flowed off the tongue. Although you claim that sometimes when you can't remember you pretend to pause for dramatic effect. But
It's not even I pretend to pause. I pause, and then people think, okay, he's doing it for dramatic.
Yeah. But how do you go about memorizing a piece?
Because when I'm writing it, I read it so many times as I'm writing it. So by the time I've actually finished, I've read it through hundreds of times, and then it's just in my head for the day because it's the last thing I've written, and then I'm driving around doing anything. It's just in my head, and it just ends up becoming deeply ingrained during the writing process. It's
Sadia.
easier to memorize something you've written than to memorize a monologue, for example, when I've had to do that. Memorize lines. But yeah, that's harder.
Sadia, we can't see you, but are you reading yours or are you memorizing them?
I've memorized quite a few, but it's just the ones that I don't really perform, I don't really memorize.
Does it help to memorize a piece? Does it make a difference?
Yeah, I think it brings out more effect when you're performing.
Yeah, it frees
instead of
you
having
up.
your phone in front of you while and reading it off, because then there's no character there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like you know when someone's just reading off something. There's nothing. There's no body language. There's no nothing. There's no passion in your voice neither.
Yeah, I mean, I had trouble remembering the phone number for this show. It's 01189 660 382.
Numbers are harder to remember.
That's right. Well,
if it was like a 20-minute number.
there might be poems like that.
Well, people know pi, don't they?
That's true.
Yeah.
Losers do.
Yeah.
But if you want to read a poem, the number is 01189
That would be
660
good, yeah.
382. This is a kind of an open mic Sunday night.
I like that.
Anything goes.
Open mic.
I would genuinely love if anyone's got a poem they've read or a poem they've written. If you'd like to share it with us, please. And yasserali.co.uk has got one. It's a mime poem. He's acting it out. It's very good. Barbara, have you got a favourite poem before we hear Fayez's?
Well, I don't know any poems from like the top of my head. I'm not into all that, but I like to listen to it. I always listen to Muhammad Ali. Was good with his words.
Yeah, he had a way with words.
He had a way of words. Very powerful. He was one person I used to listen to when I was younger.
Yeah.
I mean,
he used his language to great effect. He was, there you go, a poet and a fighter.
Yeah.
but if you really look deep into Muhammad Ali's life, he wasn't very good at
Boxing.
well.
If you look deeply.
If you look deep beyond the world titles and the
Yeah, I mean, he
knockouts.
academically he was very poor.
Absolutely.
I mean, he couldn't read or write good. He was very.
But
poor
that's
at
the beauty of
maths.
poetry. It's unstructured. No one can tell you that that's wrong. Like, as long as you're not
Yeah, no, I
grammatically
agree.
misusing words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Yeah.
he would have debates, conversations with academic
Yeah.
individuals, and he would always have the better of them. So it just goes to show, it's just if you have intellect, it goes a long
And
way.
conviction. Conviction is a huge part of a powerful spoken word as well. You'll have conviction behind your words. It's the way you deliver them. If you deliver them in this kind of feeble way, you're not going to move anyone, and people are just going to start speaking amongst themselves.
Like a good salesman.
Yeah, or I would say a good preacher, a good sermon. If you look at some of there's long tradition in America, especially of evangelical sermons and preachers who, they preach the gospel. And it's the same with imams in mosques. But there's in America, that kind of preacher culture has definitely influenced spoken word poetry. I like that. Or you look at someone like Minister Farrakhan, who's the leader of the Nation of Islam, which is, kind of a fringe movement of coming from the civil rights. And he's a great speaker. Incredible. Say what you want about his message, but the cadence and the delivery and the conviction behind his words is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sadia, just going back to the school days, were you top of the class in English? Was it a subject you loved or not?
English was one of the subjects I enjoyed.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
What about the rest of school?
No.
Barbara Ali was only good at trivial subjects.
Well, Julian told me that I could have become an actor, but
You couldn't.
You could have.
Oh, okay.
they
You could have been
didn't give me enough
somebody.
attention in drama class.
Yeah, man, you still could.
Hey, why not?
You still could. I've had a text from Samara. This is a quote from Rumi, the great poet. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation.
Yeah.
And that's in the original English language that Rumi spoke. And he was a Persian poet, in fact. So that's obviously a translation of his poetry.
Maybe it's another way of saying control your tongue.
Well, someone's tongue's out of control on
No
line
idea,
one.
someone wants to speak.
Hello, caller. Welcome to Let Me Tell You Sundays. Who's this?
Hello, this is Fred.
Fred. Welcome, Fred. Have you got a poem for us?
No, not really.
What have you got for us?
I've got a word for you.
A word. Keep it clean, Fred. How many?
Halloween.
How many letters?
It's Halloween, I've just said it.
Oh, Halloween.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite topical. Because it was Halloween the other day, so.
Halloween weekend.
Happy Halloween, Fred.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
What did you dress up for Halloween?
I dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Did you scare anyone?
Everyone was like petrified.
You don't sound very scary, Fred.
No, I'm actually
You
loving
sound
life.
like a wuss.
Yeah.
You sound like I could push you around. Actually.
But he's got the power of words on his side.
Yeah, you got. That's
Alright,
really,
let's go back to Halloween. Stop making fun of me.
All right.
sorry.
Halloween.
Yeah.
What is Halloween? Explain.
What is that about? I like that.
Sadia,
It's a bit of a gear change.
have you got an answer for Fred? What is Halloween?
It's the pagans' holiday.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, is it? What is it? Is it religious?
Well,
Is it religious? No, I wouldn't call it religious.
it had spiritual significance to them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm reading on it now. It
Yeah.
says it includes martyrs and faithful departed believers.
Mm. Yeah, they believe the people, the pagans back in the day.
Amazing back in the
And
day, yeah?
the Christians tried to come and hijack it and made it All Hallows Eve. So the next day is All Saints Day. That'd
Yeah,
be
the Western Christians.
What do you think of the Western Christians, Fred?
I think they're absolutely brilliant,
Good.
you know? I have no problems with them.
They accept everything.
You know, they're very open-minded.
Well,
Mm.
You know, that's the way it should be.
as should we all. Be.
Okay, Fred, what's your favourite word?
Halloween.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I was hoping you'd say a different word. But I just
You've got a long wait,
Yeah,
Fred.
yeah,
You must be 364 days of waiting and then it's all over.
It's
Yeah.
it's the best time of the year, isn't it? It is the best time of the year.
it's
It's
fun.
starting to get cold, and you're getting a little bit depressed, and what comes up? Halloween.
Halloween.
I like
Go
something
out.
related to Halloween. I think is a good word. Is pumpkin.
Mm.
You can't deny that. That's a good word. Pumpkin. That's a
Yeah,
good
Yeah,
word.
you
that
know-
is a good word.
People eat pumpkins
Yeah,
as well.
and they carve them.
Yeah, you can do a lot with the word and
The object that it refers to.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's your least
Right.
favourite word?
My least favourite word?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Christmas.
Probably, maybe, I don't know, I'm not really, books.
Book is your least favourite
A
word.
book.
Okay. A book.
No,
I don't know
wait,
the word. A book.
dictionary. It's my least
Oh,
favourite
dictionary. Dictionary. Okay.
I tell you what, Fred and Sadia, I've got a crossword clue for you.
Go.
Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Experimental radio. Okay, so it's a clue from a crossword, and the clue is, Barbara Ali, you might get this. Overworked postman. This is food for thought. I'll leave that one with
But
you.
you didn't tell us how many.
Well,
You just make that up.
no, it's a genuine clue from a crossword. Overworked postman. If you think you know the answer, 01189660382. Give me a call. The clue is overworked postman. And
Tommy Boyd used to do that.
yes,
kind
he
of thing,
did.
didn't
Radio legend.
he? Yeah.
Right, Fred, have you got any more words to share with us?
No, not really. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Well,
Thank
the
you,
final
Fred.
words is goodbye. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for calling.
Goodbye.
I think they were a bit harsh on Fred, you were.
Well,
You called him a wuss.
Well, I was interpreting his words.
Yeah,
You see, that's
yeah.
all we've got to go on radio.
That's all.
Is the words and how
You're
you
probably
express
right
yourself. I imagine so.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Picture is 1,000 words.
And more sometimes.
Are we ready for some words from Fayez? Bakhsh?
Okay, yeah. Okay, what should I do? Because I've got some. A lot of my spoken word pieces feel quite long. I could do a bit of a spoken word,
Hey,
or I could just do the whole thing.
We're all right. We've
Okay.
got plenty of
I'll
time.
just do the one I did at Rimmy's.
yeah.
Okay. This is about. This is a call for sincerity. It's about intention.
Has it started?
Yeah. There's
You're
a webcam.
so
on it.
poetic. I don't know where.
Yeah.
It sounds like his poetry all the time.
Yeah. Intent. That's a word the legal system likes to use a lot. But it's not just a legal term, a concept that perhaps a few forgot. In the beginning there was the word, but was there not an intention which preceded it? Because if you say something before you know why you said it, what's the purpose of you speaking it? Intention, therein lies the distinction between what small talk and what big talk is. See, there's a place for small talk. I'm making space for big talk, because sometimes it takes more than small talk to shift thoughts. Small talk is like dabbing a damp cloth when your skin's scorched. Big talk is like a king cobra, there in the flesh, flaring its crest, staring ahead, rearing its head. A Dracula bite for anyone who dares bare in his neck. Vernacular like a jaguar swipe, a man with a knife, a dagger, a scythe, splitting your vascular pipe, or ripping the air from your breath. If reality was a rug and you could pull a string and just unravel it, is your intention just to sit or snip the string that you're entangled with? See, intention requires awareness of the context that you've landed in, so how about we take some common questions and examine them? They say, are you religious? That's when I'm flipping the question back at them. If I said yes, would you consider it a trap I'm in? Is your concept of religion the packaging or the package thing? And if it's the latter, then wouldn't I just be missing the message to further whichever camp I'm in? An allegiance to the essence or an attachment to that outer skin? Or are you just asking me that question on a random whim? They say, how are you doing? You good? Yeah, that's everybody's favorite conversational social norm. I generally find that question about as welcome as a farmer does a locust swarm. Please forgive the hyperbole, I don't want to act as though it's wrong. I just know how often it's an empty place it's actually spoken from. So, what state am I in? Is life how I would have it? What if I was ravaged by vivid and graphic mind traffic? What if I was begging for a further prescription from my physician, so I just swallowed an entire cabinet of fire tablets? They say, what do you do? I say it depends what you consider done or what you consider doing. Because if it's about acquisition of funds or a career I'm pursuing, you've taken every application of the verb do and reduced it to like two things. I can tell you what we've all done. We've done knitted a nice blanket of blank scripts to blankly deliver like pamphlets. My hands itch to grip something visceral I'm handed. A standard practice, a spiritless theatrics. Hand me a feeble handshake, I'll just grip until I crack it. God handpicked the messengers to invigorate the masses, whose first hand interaction was injected with a passion to fill us up with all, not pouring vinegar on gashes. But please forgive my frankness. What was your intention? You could say, I was just asking. Well, that just confirms my suspicion, and it's just about tantamount to an admission. You weren't genuinely invested in your line of inquisition. If the purpose of conversing is about connecting and you're not connected to your own statements, there's really no connection, and I can't consider this a conversation. Consequently, this is honestly something I'm just going to walk away from. I will not be complicit in contributing to your comatose state, son. We might as well just get concussed and leave your tongue just twitching. Would it really be so different from us in this current condition? Listen, of course there's a call for common courtesy. The only time it gets to me is when it's considered courteous to let the courtesy become the enemy of sincerity. Perhaps there should be a way to tell if your wavelength transmits locally, so I can quickly consider if you qualify to be close to me. But if it's not authentically your question with which you're probing me, how will I know it's you? How will you know it's me? The only thing I'm trying to get across to utilizing poetry is that directing your question with the best intention has a unifying potency. So let's see. Whether you're pasting your Facebook status with the greatest book quotes, you can still sound as baseless as a Facebook poke. Whether you're here and your career's taking you way beyond your peers, or you spent 20 years trapped rocking the same look broke. Whether you're me, whether I'm you, whether you speak, whether I'm mute, whether you're a dog man or you love felines, whether you rap or you're all about the beeline, getting your daps and applause and a peace signs, you just bang on the wall in your free time. Whether you're sitting there itching with Palestinian conviction, or the Israelites inside you want that promised land submission. Whether you're visiting a school with a tool to shoot up children, or your inner child is dying from that gunshot wound infliction. Whether you're clean living, Listerine spitting, sleeping on the city streets, missing teeth grinning. Whether there's a dream to which your spirit's been clinging in the mirror in your teen, just mimicking each vision, spinning, remixing, bringing heat, sinning, Billie Jean singing, dimethyltryptamine spitting. There's a common scene stitched in. That's the thread I've been picking. Sometimes that means digging. Sometimes it needs picking. Instead of giving empty answers, we need questions that breed thinking. Listen, if you're sleepwalking, keep talking. If you're awake, then I'm present. In that case, I've got one question. What was your intention? Thanks.
Wow.
Sadia's impressed. I've heard it before, I'm impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
By Ali.
That's very impressive.
What do you make of that?
Very impressive.
The thing is,
how you went on.
Yeah.
And on.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Well, I appreciate the patience.
No, but that's the thing. That's very. And I have to say, guys, he's not reading it. This is all from memory, and that's just in there.
That's why I screwed up.
No, but yeah, that's fantastic.
That's powerful.
Thank you. It's good to get another poet's opinion on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, Sadia?
No, he's really powerful. I love that.
Oh, brilliant. That's from a fellow spoken.
We'll have to get this recorded and
yeah, this will be available as a YouTube video.
Or is it on
.co.uk.
You're gonna make money off me and Sadia.
You're gonna sue us.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you wrote, I mean, and the pace with which you speak it out, and Sadia, you read yours very quickly as well, and this is almost like a talent in and of itself. But do you think the poems, and this goes to both of you, if they were written down, I could read it really, really slowly, it would put a completely different spin on it, right?
Like the last open mic I went to, it was poetry reading.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone there who performed was about 10 years older than me, at least 20. And they were all reading it. It was a very different kind of poetry night. It wasn't spoken word, it was traditional poetry, and it's great. And there were very nice, gentle poems about the sunshine and the countryside, or something like stuff like that. So I went up and I felt completely out of my element, and it was interesting. But it was, the atmosphere in that room was like, it was dark, and you could hear a pin drop, and you could whisper through the microphone and everyone would listen. So I delivered that same piece in a completely different way. I didn't do it as fast, and I did it quietly, and it gave a different edge to it. You know, it's sort of, the delivery does colour.
Did it bomb?
Yeah, it was received well.
They didn't get it.
Yeah,
oh, good.
Yeah, they liked it.
Okay, that's interesting. Sadia, have you ever played around with the pace at which you perform?
Yeah, I have before.
But would you?
I think.
Go on.
I mean, I prefer doing it faster, but in smaller events, I like to do it a bit slower, just to give it a bit more oomph to it.
I mean, it's.
I think it's more effective.
Impressive to do it really quickly, and everyone likes rappers who raps really fast. But if you want the audience to take in the meaning, maybe you have to.
It's the difference between, like, because at any given moment you can do different things. You can slow it down, speed it up, but sometimes you have to make a decision. Is my conviction, is my delivery more important for this bit, or is the message, the content more important? And if you decide what I'm saying is more important than the content, slow it down. If you decide this bit has a lot of, alliteration and cool consonant sounds and vowel sounds, I might as well just speed it up and it sounds good.
Yeah, alliteration, metaphor. What's the name for all of those things? What are they called?
Poetic devices.
Yeah, language. Yeah. Is that the word? Language devices.
Yeah, they're all poetic.
Dower Man's always going on about them.
Yeah.
How many you can? If you're listening, Dower Man, give us a call and explain what it is. I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But this idea that a book like the Quran is miraculous because it has many devices. Sadia, do you have a preferred language device that would you? I mean, do you want every line to rhyme, or you prefer metaphor or assonance? I don't even know what that means. What does it mean?
I mean, I prefer every line to rhyme.
Okay.
That's just me. I don't know. I find it easier to write like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I suppose everyone's quite different in how they do their stuff.
Yeah. No, my favourite type of poems were always acrostics. I was always doing those.
That was your favourite type?
Yeah, I would do those in science lessons.
It's easier to appreciate an acrostic when it's written.
We try to make our science exams like spell out rude words down the left and like insult the teacher, but still make sense. Poor Mr. State, we gave him a nervous breakdown. But I like acrostics. It's so clever, but it doesn't really make sense to a spoken word artist. Does it?
Yeah.
But if you can make it rhyme as well, I mean, even.
Well, no, because rhyming isn't an essential part of spoken word. I'm very influenced by hip hop, more so than spoken word. So I write raps and then I essentially, deliver them like spoken word often. But you look at a lot of spoken word, they don't rhyme. Or they rhyme every now and then.
But you like to keep it rhyming.
Well, but then you can break it up. You can break it up with a bit where you're speaking, and then it's very free form.
No doubt. So Sadia, rhyming, metaphors, what is assonance?
Assonance is vowel sounds. So alliteration would be sounds of consonants. Peter Piper picked up. Assonance would be vowel sounds. So the proud owl scowled loudly.
Okay.
That's all.
The cat sat on the mat. What's that
there
one?
There you go. That's assonance.
I made that up myself.
Yeah.
There's another one I've forgotten what it is. Palindrome. What's a palindrome?
Oh yeah, palindrome. What is a palindrome?
Over to Barbara Ali to explain what a palindrome is.
That's when I know what a palindrome is.
Sadia, do you know?
No.
Right, word association. I'm going first. Palindrome.
Assonance.
Yeah, true. No, palindrome is the. Does anyone know?
I do know.
01189
Well, I was taught this.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Ask your mum or your dad. That's a clue, I think.
Oh, no, is it?
Say that again.
I think ask your mum or your dad. If palindrome is what I think it is.
A palindrome is a word, phrase, number, or other sequence of symbols or elements.
Someone's
that
on
reads the
Google.
same forward or reverse.
No, he's not on Google.
This is from memory.
Someone's on Google.
Very good.
So no,
Barbara.
so what was the answer?
What is it, Barbara?
Okay, I was just
You're
getting into
texting
it.
someone while you tell us.
One moment. Let's get
You're
back
listening
into
to
it.
Let Me Tell You Sundays. on
Right.
one- on
Okay, let me
FM.
repeat that again. A palindrome is a word, phrase, number, or other sequence of symbols or elements that reads the same forward or reversed.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Hence, I said ask your mum or your dad because those words are the
There you
same
go.
forwards and
I remember
backwards.
now. Well, it's all good to remember now. You've been told, isn't it?
Well, yeah. But
But, yeah.
or maybe someone had the answer. Line 3, you're live.
Hello. Yeah,
Welcome
I'd just
to
like
the
to.
show. Who's
Now that
this?
I've heard that my name is Archie.
Archie, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'd just like to say on the basis of the palindrome,
hmm
I know you've now reached the definition. There was a novel that was written that the entirety of the novel is a palindrome.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, so it's the same forwards as it is backwards.
Yep.
That,
What was the plot like?
Wow.
I don't know. I never bothered reading it.
the plot must have suffered.
Yeah, it would be hard to.
Words overrated.
Something would
you know
suffer. Like at least the names of the characters or something.
what I mean? Yeah.
Mum and dad. Mum, dad.
By the way, I'd like to say that I've really enjoyed listening to the spoken word pieces of the people on the show. So thank you very much for your contribution.
Thanks, Archie.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work. Keep up the good work.
Archie, what's your favourite number?
Well, it's either 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Go for
7 or
7.5.
8. Sometimes 39,135, but
Okay,
usually 7 or 8.
yeah.
How about yourself?
Well, I like 41 to be honest.
We haven't done the power of numbers.
Oh,
We're going to do that next week.
Oh yeah, hold on. We're talking about words, aren't we? Actually,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. No, what's your favourite word?
Yeah,
Now, yeah,
Words.
I like the word merkwürdig.
yeah. I thought you'd say that.
It's a German word.
Yeah, a
and
German
I like
word.
it a lot.
It means
It means peculiar.
peculiar. Yeah, it means peculiar.
Merkwürdig.
But yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
Yeah,
German word.
German word.
Say that again.
Merkwürdig.
I don't think I can say that.
It's a weird word.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also the German word that I like called feucht.
This is good.
Feucht.
I feel like you might be alienating some of the listenship. What's your
Yeah,
favourite
totally.
English
Oh,
word?
popular in
All right.
Yeah.
My favourite English word.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about that. I know
You tend to think German.
I know far more English words I do German.
Okay.
It makes it tough to narrow it down.
Mm.
But snowflake. That's a good. It's a nice word. Snowflake.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know,
it's
maybe
not bad. Well,
it's
that's the thing
alright.
with when you're
Nothing
talking about
quick.
nouns, you can't tell sometimes if it's just, you like what it's referring to. You like the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
With pumpkin, I'm quite clear. I like the word because I
Oh,
don't.
bollard. I like bollard.
Bollard is good.
Yeah, bollard's a good word.
Um,
Where did that word come from? Bollard. What do you call
Bollard is a
it?
good word.
Things like that. Let's call it a bollard. What?
Do you remember Sue Pollard?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that she doesn't resemble a bollard. at all.
No. But her surname is similar. You can't deny that.
It is similar.
To deny
It is
that would be
similar.
ridiculous because it's the difference of one letter.
It is just one letter.
Yeah.
But it made a significant difference.
It
Well, I suppose.
I don't think it makes significant. Not so much of a difference that we didn't bring her up in this conversation.
Yeah, I suppose. Sue
Sorry,
Pollard.
I did.
Not a bollard.
No.
Any other words like that?
Like Bollard.
Yeah.
Tom Stoppard, but that's again his name. He's a playwright.
Yeah.
Barbara,
Yeah.
how you doing, man?
Well,
do you have a favourite word?
I want Sadia's favourite word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Expression, I think.
Expression.
Okay.
Mm.
Why? How many points is that in Scrabble? I've never played. Sorry. Barbara, favourite word? Come on.
I can't think of any words. The only word I can really think of right now is destruction.
Destruction.
Oh, he's in that kind of mood.
So we'll go back to the word association.
Expression. I nominate that as a substitute for emoticon. Expression.
Mm-hmm.
These are.
How do you know they were joking? I could tell from the expression.
Okay.
You've invented a new word tonight. Thank you very much. Archie.
Neologism.
What about like the range of words that you'd use in a text message could be your texicon?
I like that.
Yeah.
Texicon.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I like that.
Similar
Right, I'm going to leave you guys to it
Yeah.
to create some more words.
Cheers.
And
Don't be up all night.
Archie,
Yeah.
Thank you for your words.
Thank you
Cheers,
for your
Archie.
time.
There he goes.
That
That's
was
Archie.
Archie.
There.
I enjoyed his call.
Yeah.
Sometimes I felt like I was the only one who enjoyed his call.
No.
No.
I wanted to
Okay.
let you.
I enjoyed that call.
Enjoy
Okay, good.
We enjoy any call on Sunday night. Anything goes.
All calls are welcome.
Yeah. As long as you keep it clean and lawful.
Last week we had a redneck all the way from Texas.
Apparently so.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I wasn't
well-
convinced.
It was all real.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
We don't
incredible.
stage things on the show.
No, we don't.
No, I don't.
The midnight caller may do. I don't know. Yeah, last week was Black History Month special, and we talked a bit about language and.
You touched
how we use
on
it.
in the beginning of the
Yeah.
show about, were we talking or weren't we talking, or did we become to talk?
Yeah.
And Spencer said about the Homo sapien, and then he said there's a difference between a Homo sapien and a
There is a
Neanderthal or whatever, and a Homo sapien is a smart human.
Hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Hold that thought, Barbara.
Yes.
Caller, you're on line 4. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Who's this?
it's John.
John, welcome back to the show.
Good to talk. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very
Word
much.
power. We're talking the power of words.
The power of words. Yes. Well, I know quite a few words.
Yeah? Go for it.
Well, right. Well, let's see. I've got the dictionary.
John,
here
by the
with
way,
me.
can you just confirm you're not the same guy? Barbara's rather rudely just suggested that you're Archie. He just I can barely lip read, but he said, "Is that the same guy?"
Well, oddly enough, the clue is in the word.
Uh-huh.
The words John and Archie are two different words, to my knowledge. And,
But you sound so like.
Oh, well, thank you very
Right,
much.
Archie,
I did
phone back
actually-
in on the other line, and we'll prove.
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm
Prove
messing
it's
around.
not
I'm messing around.
I am actually Archie.
We love your calls, John.
It doesn't matter though. Yeah, let's be
I
honest.
thought it would be really, really good idea to pretend I had to go, then call in again.
John, you're welcome on the show.
I feel bad now because it's all quite. I think Archie was quite a funny caller,
Yeah.
and there was. But I'm actually going to throw some seriousness into the proceedings.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a serious time
Okay.
now. Even though I'm actually feeling quite jovial after that
That's a
last
good
call.
word. Jovial.
I wanted to ask what the opinions of all of you and especially Fayez as a spoken word artist are regarding what I like to call the bastardization of the English language. So despite being a scientist and not really a word man, I'm quite kind of annoyed, upset by people destroying the English language. For example, people who say could of instead of could have. People who, especially when they write things, they get your and your with the apostrophe or not mixed up, and there, EIR or ERE, that sort of thing. And it's got to the point now where, for example, when you say none of them, you're meant to say none of them is good rather than none of them are, because none actually means not one. But I remember talking to a girl once, it was a date actually, and she said to me, I kept saying none of them is, and she thought she'd correct me. She said, actually, you're meant to say none of them are. And I said, actually, no, you're meant to say none of them
It
is.
sounds like a great day.
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
date. Never saw her again.
Yeah.
But if you're ever having a date with an Austrian model, that's what you should do. If you never want to see her again.
Women. None of them are worth it. None of them is worth it.
No, but it got me thinking. Actually, just to add some kind of serious kind of side to this. What do you guys think about this? I mean, on the one hand, I mean, I'm on the fence. On the one hand, you could say, well, we should, the language is there for a reason, and we should use it properly. But then there's that famous singer who wrote, Zim Zimmer, who has the keys to my BMW. That song.
Bimmer.
No, he's talking about the original.
Sorry, there's an original.
Oh yeah.
Who is in possession of the keys to my BMW? No, it wasn't. I'm not.
Well, yes,
There was a Shakespeare's version.
Yeah.
Well, Shakespeare invented words, John. They weren't just incorrect; they were made up.
That guy, Beanbag Man or whatever, he's called
Beanbag Man.
He said that actually.
I like that.
That
I've got a strange idea of what he looks like now. Yeah.
He likes kind of just sitting there and making up words, and and that's the way he came up with the word Zimmer.
Yeah.
Which then got used to mean Zimmer for aim, I understand, or maybe not. But anyway, he came up with the Zimmer, and because of that, he came up with that brilliant song. And so, on the one hand, yes, you can be really restrictive if you don't allow a kind of a language to evolve. But on the other hand, it can just be bastardized, and you don't really know. People. It's kind of the lowest common denominator are unfortunately people who aren't that bright. Unfortunately, people who say them instead of them, and people who say could have instead of could have, and therefore in 100 years' time, will we then be kind of moving towards a new what's the word, new standard? And so, what do people think? To be Nazi-like or not?
Well, John, some very good points. I think there's a difference between people speaking slang within their own social group, and Jamaican patois is a dialect of English. It is a different dialect. People who say them, ute them, man them, they're not speaking incorrectly. They are using the patois.
Absolutely. I didn't mean that.
No, but on the counter side to that, I agree with you that it's a good idea that when we are in a formal situation and we need to write letters or interact. When I'm teaching kids who speak in this kind of slang, I do accept it from them, but I also need them to understand that they need to be able to converse in the adult professional world, which unfortunately people like yourself, John, will look down their nose at them.
Do you think the governments are to blame for this, for laying in all the foreigners, mixing up all the language and everything? And also, what are we teaching in the schools as well? I mean, I can see you're a traditionalist. I can hear that from you.
No, I have to say that in my experience, actually, foreigners speak English better than English people do. And I'm sorry to say that. I don't mean to be kind of inflammatory, but no, I absolutely agree with George's point about, Jamaican patois, for example. That's the dialect, so that's fine. I'm talking about people who, for example, live in the south of England, aren't necessarily foreign, but just through being uneducated or not even bothering to learn how to spell or speak their own language. That's what's irritating.
But John, sorry.
Go on.
Hasn't this issue been happening throughout the ages?
Yes.
Where you got different social classes. Obviously, some people have better access to that education than others do. So, they're going to start shortcutting things, cutting off a bit here, cutting off a bit there. They're going to talk their way. This has been happening probably since the time of Adam. You never know.
Certain accents are perceived to be more well-to-do. Working class accents are perceived as being, "Oh, you're a bit thick, mate," to stereotype.
Common,
but is that right? Maybe we shouldn't do that.
It's like
maybe that's just as bad as discriminating against skin color.
Even in the Arabic language, I mean, I'm not expert of Arabic, but I think they have the same issue. You've got individuals who say they speak classical Arabic, and then if you don't speak classical Arabic, you're not so Arab. Do you understand?
I imagine every language has this.
Yeah, so this thing is obviously been going through the ages, where you've got different classes, different, places, communities, and, people tend to do this sort of stuff.
But I think John's point is more about the misuse of words out of sheer ignorance. And I think what I would say is that there is a difference. I think there is license to be. You use the word Nazi like about what we tolerate about language, because if we make the distinction between someone who's using a word wrongly because they're out of sheer ignorance about what it actually means, versus someone who's deciding to be creative with language.
I hate ignorant people.
Yeah.
They don't listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Ignoring people.
So being creative should be encouraged, but just misusing the word literally or whatever, saying could have, just that's not being creative. That's you lacking information about how to apply that word.
For example, last week Spencer Fearon, who was on for Black History Month, said that people always say to him, "Oh, you still sound very ghetto," and he still speaks in his dialect. However, the guy is very eloquent. His vocabulary is really nice.
He's very successful.
Yeah, and he's a very successful guy, and he comes across as intelligent whilst having
informal conversation.
That's what I'm saying. But as long as he doesn't misuse, I think John's point is about misusing words or using words strangely, and so yeah, that's fine.
But maybe people, they want to misuse the words. They can't be bothered.
That's the
Sorry, am I misusing words now?
Am I bothered?
Yeah, am I doing it now? Maybe people just want to do that.
They can't be bothered. That shouldn't be encouraged.
Different.
That is worth speaking about critically. Like
okay, all right.
Attitude.
Here's another way of looking at it. So you've got individuals who are considered posh, and they speak proper, fluent English. They don't miss a
RP.
You know what I mean? And they're looked as snobs. So people don't want to be seen speaking like that. They think, oh, if I start talking like that, people are going to think I've got my nose up all the time.
I don't think there's ever an excuse to misuse a word deliberately. There's never a reason to deliberately misuse a word unless you're being ironic and for humour. So.
Well, someone sent me a text.
There we go.
And it's all in shorthand.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's another thing we could talk about. But it's a good one. He says that I have a word I've made up. It's called broke digger. A girl that wants to be with you even though you're broke. It's like gold digger, but opposite.
It's not quite the same. It's not quite the opposite of gold
John,
digger.
is that a word you'd use?
Well, if any girl wanted to go out with...
But no, but I have an objection. Like, hold on. Okay, what?
So what was that, John?
If any girl was interested in me, she would be a broke digger. Yeah.
Oh, that's
no, because what he said was...
So a broke digger will be looking for you, John.
A gold digger is someone who's interested in you because you're rich.
Yeah.
He said a broke digger is someone who wants to be with you even though you're broke. It's not the same. It would be because you're broke, which is strange. Why would you want to be with me? That's different. So that would be a broke digger.
Maybe that's a challenge as well in itself. Because a lot of broke,
there you go. So that
broke people are frustrated. It's hard to get with.
So rather than even though.
John, have you got any more words for us? We do appreciate you getting in touch.
No, I think that those are the words now that I've given. I think I'm done with the words. So
no, don't give up on them.
As Archie, I'm going to say goodbye. Sorry, John.
No, what's in the name?
Goodbye.
John,
yeah.
Archie. Right, we'll hear you in 2 minutes with a new name.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, fella.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Sadia, are you there? We've lost Sadia somewhere along the way.
Oh, she went.
The producer will sort that out. Yeah, that's a good point, and I think there is a difference between speaking in slang and being ignorant of the meaning of words. But I do find that I will use words.
But isn't speaking in slang literally being ignorant of words?
No, because if you're very conscious about what you're doing, you could be deliberately using colloquialisms.
But isn't that where slangs come from? Slangs come from that.
All slang doesn't come from mistakes.
No.
We're talking about mistakes. People who don't know what words mean.
Thing is, I would say things that are grammatically incorrect.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in a job interview, I'm going to say, Barbara and I would like to present the show. If I'm relaxed and formal, I say me and Barbara. And I know it's incorrect, but I still say it. And I think you don't. Do I seem ignorant to say that? Fayez? Would that
isn't that
jump
common
out
English
at you
now?
as like, oh, he's a bit
common?
No,
bit common.
You get used to it. I mean, people do that all the time.
Yeah, I think there's a difference, isn't there? But there's a fine line.
I guess that's what he's touching on. To what degree do we?
Yeah, and it's different. Is it different from or different to?
Different.
Different.
Different to. Different from. Oh yeah, now you've got.
Similar to, different from. This is different. I'm different to Fayez. Is that correct or is that wrong?
I'm different from. Yeah. No.
I'm different from Sim. Different from.
Call in.
Sim, I think. Call in if you know.
Yeah.
The number is 01189 660
Archie
382.
would know.
Archie or
'Cause he
John.
knew about that
or
novel.
he did. He would know.
Yeah.
But yeah, little things like that. It makes you think. I've got a word here. A text has come through. Says the word is kintsukori. Anyone know what that means?
No.
No.
To repair with gold. The art of repairing pottery with gold or silver lacquer, and understanding that the piece is more beautiful for having been broken.
Okay.
And there's a picture there. Oh wow.
That is.
That is a favourite word from a listener that's too shy to call. Well, thank you for texting. Here's some more poetry that's coming in. A short story is the ultimate close-up magic trick. Oh, it's not poetry. It's just a couple of thousand words to take you around the universe or break your heart.
Is there someone on the line?
I think we got back to Sadia. Sadia,
Yes.
welcome
I'm
back. Are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here now. It's my
Okay.
connection. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. You're back, loud and clear.
I'm back. I'm back loud and clear.
Sadia, if you've got one more piece to give us, I'd love to hear it, and then we'll get another one from Fayez.
Yep,
if he's
no
willing.
problem.
And then
1
Barbara
second.
will close the show with his freestyle. That
Wait, he's gonna freestyle?
Yeah, he's just gonna spit a few bars. 16 bar
Oh, no.
challenge. And Yasser Ali's gonna beatbox for him. No, go on. Have you got something that we can wrap up with?
Yep. I'm seeking heaven in this worldly life, even though I'll be beneath the ground where my soul will lie. Waiting for doomsday where I'm the author of my book, hoping and praying my sins will be overlooked. I don't want to be shadowed by my sins on that day, so I'd ask my Lord not to lead me astray. Show me the light in this dark tunnel that I'm in, because right now I'm not comfortable in my skin. Make me strong like the mother of the believers, pass like Khadija, a scholar like Aisha. I want to be fearless just like Fatima, and then turn me into a martyr just like Sumayya. I pray to have an easy access to Jannah, but I'm stuck in this web surrounded by fitna. The fitna that is slowly turning my heart black. I want to escape my own prison and never look back. I feel lost like the missing pages of the scripture, walking on a path that has been broken with a scissor. Surrounded by negativity is turning me negative. I need to be attracted to something that is really positive, and that positive thing is the deen, and the deen is something I actually need, but it's something I'm lacking because it's this world that I'm craving, seeking attachment where it's not needed, obeying the devil, and I feel like I've cheated with myself, and now a part of me feels like I'm somebody else. I've become my own worst enemy, and it's something I'm against, even though I know my weakness and my strength. I can never be perfect because I'm far from it, but I know reality, and I'll continue to strive for it.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Mashallah, very nice.
So,
Thank you.
Apart from YouTube, where can we see you and hear you perform these pieces?
At the moment, all I'm doing is like ladies ones.
Well, we do have a lot of lady listeners. No lady callers tonight, unfortunately. Sometimes that's not the case. But where can sisters hear you?
On YouTube, if they just type in Sadia K, they'll find my stuff on there.
Okay, so you're performing in front of women.
No, it's not. Those ones are just audio ones at the moment.
Okay.
I haven't put my performances up yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to that. Sadia K is the name to look out for, and I hope you will continue to join us and support us again on air.
Definitely.
It's been a pleasure to have you on. And
Thank you for having me.
.co.uk says a big thank you. He's miming it right now with a huge grin on his face, and it's thanks to him that we got in touch with you. So yeah, thank you very much for coming.
No, thank you for having me,
coming
guys.
on. Welcome anytime. Join us again. Sadia K there. She's gained a few fans.
Yeah, man.
Tonight. One of them is Fayez Bakhsh.
Of course.
And I'd love it if she came down to Rumi's Cave, where I'm occasionally a member of the audience and one-time wannabe performer.
Yeah.
Just the once. Barbara Ali, come on, give us a little something.
I'll
set you up with it.
I don't have anything. Come on,
here we go.
Roses
Roses are red.
It's not me.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. It's Barbara Ali on Let Me Tell You.
There you go. You did it.
There you go. All right, Fayez, have you got the?
Let's do one more.
Showstopper.
The showstopper, yeah.
Okay, so
Literally.
Well, must, but I don't want to do another long one, so I'm gonna do. I'll
That's
do a short one, like
as you
'cause
like.
it's more of a rap.
As you wish.
Yeah. So this is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do this like a rap.
Okay.
Okay. I'm taking swipes at the passive, bloated, massive, over apathetic, bogus, lack of focus, vapid, soulless, cracked, and hopeless trap I've grown in. I'm zoning, no need to let the smoke in. The rush of blood's enough to get the bleeding red to soak in. I'll go in, I'm lotion to lubricate your motion. Cause you've been stiffened by the fiction you've been getting cloaked in. And I've been itching just to testify against this whole thing. Rip through ritual lies and visualize it with my own lens. Mass fighting and writing, scrap biting and striking. It's rap lying, it's striking, scratch biting and swiping. It's black iron, I'm firing, turn this prison to rubble. And if it doesn't, I'll punch it till blood is dripping in puddles. I will find light at the tip of this tunnel and grip my prayer beads, whiten in the tip of my knuckle. No more closed door and the cold floor is cracking. Pressure of metal with how old swords were fashioned. So it could be the pressure of grown horses trampling. Go forth like heavenly cohorts are backing. Imagine saying a prayer and these shackles snapping. Turning this apathy into passion. Turning this anger in me to action. Or turning away to perish. I'm praying, don't let it happen. There you go. Not as long.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Tough act to follow, Barbara.
Yeah, I'll be practicing.
Don't
I'll be
you.
practicing and I'll be coming back.
That
Don't
was a
worry.
tough act to follow. Wow. The power of words. Powerful words. Thank you, Fayez.
This was fun, man.
I think we should do a show on the power of actions.
Well, I mean, we'll do numbers next week.
Numbers.
Then we'll-
Shapes.
Yeah.
That might be the greatest idea for a show.
Dodecagon.
The power of shapes. I love that. Triangle, they say.
Triangle is a very powerful
It's very,
shape.
very strong.
Yeah, no, genuinely, Fayez, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
down.
This was really fun.
It was
Thank
a
you. I
big
appreciate it.
favour to me
Not
to
at all.
have you
It's
here.
excellent having you.
And,
Really appreciate
do come
it.
again.
I'll continue to be a fan.
Yes, we need all the fans we can get.
We sure do.
What's going on? Why are you looking out the window? What's happened? What do you see? The moon?
Was a call. I'm imagining things. No. Yasser says no. Barbara, it's over to you for the announcements and the goodbyes.
Yes. No real announcements. Just stay tuned. Next week, let me tell you, Sundays live as ever from 9 p.m. Inshallah. Also catch us on Facebook, One Ummah FM. Find us on One Ummah FM on Facebook. All our links are on there. I'm not going to mention any more links because I always mix them up. So I'm just going to stick it to the one Ummah FM. That's the one you need to go on. And just keep supporting the show. We need all the support we can get. So with that said, from myself, Barbara Ali, Yasser Ali, Julian Morrow, Sawa Shah, sat in the corner quietly, and our special guest,
Fayez Bakhsh.
It's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.